People seem to be operating under the assumption that North Korea needs to test more and get better accuracy and better range in order to threaten us or South Korea or Japan with nuclear weapons. They do not. They are perfectly capable of doing that now, not necessarily through shooting a missile at the United States and hitting a target with a nuclear weapon, but by putting a basic nuclear device inside a satellite, orbiting it in polar orbit, and when it passes over a couple of times a day, the center part of the United States, detonating it, and thereby taking out our electric grid. If the electric grid goes, it's not just the lights. It's food, it's water, it's your calculations on how much money you have, because that's ones and zeros in a computer somewhere, and if all the ones and zeros go away, what do you own?
All right, so since North Korea can already attack the U.S. and do great harm by knocking out our electrical grid, we also asked Ambassador Woolsey what options President Trump still has.
Best case, his negotiating skills pay off, and he sells Kim Jong-un on a slow stand down. There would still be a nuclear power, I think probably for a long, long time. But if they begin to move into a posture of being a decent state, or at least even a halfway decent state, instead of the totalitarian horror they are now, he would have accomplished something rather major. And he's a skillful negotiator. He might pull something off.
Now, we also talked to Ambassador Woolsey about the situation in Venezuela. Specifically, recent reports that Cuba could have anywhere between 15,000 and 50,000 military and secret police inside Venezuela. So we asked Ambassador Woolsey about President Trump's options for Venezuela and how to deal with the Cuban military elements. He said that President Trump should do what President Reagan did in Grenada back in 1983, when President Reagan intervened to protect Americans who were living on that Caribbean island nation. Woolsey said it's probably the only way to get the Cuban military out of Venezuela, and would also send a very strong message to Russia.
I would start by being friendly, by suggesting that the Cubans might want to leave, by suggesting that Maduro stand down and let the real president take over. And then if they don't do that, and they almost certainly will not, I don't see a real alternative to using force in Venezuela, and I think the target is not the Venezuelan armed forces. They will swing with whoever is in control. The target ought to be Cuban armed forces, the Cubans in Venezuela.
Now, Woolsey said if we are not willing to remove the Cubans from Venezuela, the Russian military will expand their operations in that South American country as well, and work with the Cubans to keep Maduro in power. You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems, or go to newsmaxtv.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.